Wow, this is different. Okay, so warning for all my people out there. I am traveling for business for a very long time, staying in different states. So I'm in different hotels. So I can't control if people walk by the hotel room or whatever. But just my love for consistency for you guys here at Love Lens Reviews. I bought everything with me. I bought my camera equipment, my mic equipment. I bought my lighting, my background to try to give you guys the same experiences I've been giving you guys before. So just bear with me on the things that I cannot control. Secondly, the reason my channel looks like this from the beginning is because I'm not a beginning YouTuber. I'm actually known for doing true crimes. I go by the name of John Crimes. The link to that channel will be in the description below, where I do true crime documentaries. That has led me to national television. Now that we got those out of the way, this video is gonna a little bit cover the entire story of AD and Clay, but the main focus is on the final episode of the season. Now I'm filming this, I think the night, or yes, this is the night before the reunion airs. I think the reunion airs Wednesday. I'm filming this Tuesday night. After I film this, I'm gonna lay in my hotel bedroom and edit it and try to put this out tonight for you guys. But this was a personal story to talk about because, you know, I like to see people that can relate to the subjects in their videos. So when you see the emotions of another woman in on Love is Blind, I like to get the perspective of women. Or a black woman like AD. I like to see my black YouTubers like Roxy pay her weight, to hear where they come from. And me as a black man, I definitely could, in the past, relate to some of the issues that Clay is having. So if you are under a rock, Clay did not choose AD on the season finale of Love is Blind. And a lot of us was kind of shocked as to why AD was shocked that Clay didn't choose her when he gave her so many signs throughout the entire season of the show. He talked to her about his past with his father, cheating on his mother, and also he talked to her about how he was worried and he wanted to make sure that he was perfect for her, where infidelity may not be an issue, ultimately leading him to come to the decision that he doesn't think he's ready to marry. Now, it's very easy to write AD off like, oh, this is just a typical player playing with his girl emotions, playing with feelings. I don't think that he played with her feelings purposely. I think the outcome, he did waste her time. I don't think that he thinks that he wasted her time. I honestly think that Clay thought he possibly could be ready and something was going to move him to be more ready. But deep down inside, Clay was never going to say yes from the moment he decided to go on this show, because he had not gotten over his trauma that he had in his past, the trauma that he's going through even presently, dealing with history of seeing men out here in infidelity. In previous videos, I've talked to you out guys about the biggest issues in relationship is trusting your partner. And all I see in relationship is people not listening to their partner. Normally, it was the guests on Love is Blind, such as Chelsea not listening to Jimmy. Jimmy is telling Chelsea, these are the reasons I don't want to be with you. Chelsea dismisses what he says and makes up her own reason in her head, saying, you're just playing with me and all of this stuff, when he's trying to tell her. This is kind of odd because now I see the audience doing what Chelsea did. You guys talk all this trash about Chelsea, but now you're doing the exact same mistake she's doing. Clay literally said the reasons why he's not ready. And instead of listening to Clay, you guys have dismissed what he said, as if it is impossible for a man to have these detrimental fears. So just play what if. What if what Clay is saying is real? What if Clay has this overwhelming fear? What if Clay does not want to be like his father and he does not want to make that mistake? So it's better to just be single, play the field, not be committed to anyone, sleep around, and he thinks that this magical moment is going to come in his head that snaps as if he's in some movie and he's going to change his mind, and that's never going to happen. Clay needs to talk to a shrink, a therapist. He needs to talk to someone about his trauma and his issues, because this magical moment he's waiting for will never happen. One of the big things that happened in this episode was Clay's mother, her conversation that she had with Clay's father who left her. And I think that Clay's father missed a very important thing that she said when he tried to compliment her after a serious talk, and she's telling him about her son having these issues due to how he treated her. He sort of tries to shoot her a compliment in order to let bygones be bygones. We'll work together for our son. And he shoots her a compliment about being, a great woman or amazing woman. And she told him, yeah, you had me, but you did me wrong. And I think that he kind of took it as a shot at him instead of taking it as, you're not understanding. You had a great woman, and he saw you do this great woman wrong. So our son has a great woman, and now he has fears of doing this woman wrong. In that sentence right there, it just goes to show there is no woman on earth that will make Clay feel this way. It can't come from the woman, because he did have a great woman in AD. There doesn't exist some magical person that's just gonna charge up his energy so much that he's gonna jump over the hurdle of the trauma he has from his past. It's gonna have to come from within, from him knowing himself and him knowing that he has the power within to get past generational trauma. He even tried to lie to himself, and this is only my subjective opinion, when he started listing things such as finances. I don't know her finances. The finances was never a problem from him in the entire season. These are abstract ideas he's having in his mind to try to find something tangible to grasp onto, to deliver to the audience, to justify his reasonings, because you could seem like less of a man that you're afraid to do something. A lot of times throughout the season, we saw Clay try to lean on AD. You make me feel this way. When you do this, it makes me feel, and I can come and I can be better, and I can do this and I can do that. He's looking for a partner that's going to just give him this jolt of energy to be such a better man that he thinks of himself inside that he's going to change. And that is never going to happen. It looks, we will know tomorrow, so my video will only be good for one day. But it looks to me as if he came back to AD from the previews of the reunion. We see the reunion trailer where he says that, she's the love of his life, or, the best thing that ever happened to him. He also said that multiple times on the show. There have been clips of showing them together on Instagram, on the internet. I don't know if they are together, but it sort of looks like they are together. The relationship will be doomed to fail if Clay does not get the help to work on himself. And I am not even coming down hard on the overwhelming majority, because I understand why. I'm not coming down hard on you guys for just dismissing him as some player, mainly because he looked like Bill Bellamy and How to Be a Player mixed with Wile E. Coyote. But besides that, I can't understand how it's easier to just take the easy route. Oh, he a player, she's a nice girl, he just want to go have sex with a bunch of people. But like we are very, we're a lot alike, but we're different at the same time. Everyone just isn't cookie cutter. Oh, I got you, you're that. We are different. We all come from different backgrounds, and we all suffer from different things. And there could exist a black man out there in the world who saw his parent do his other parent really, really harshly, and it had adverse effects on his life. Just consider that. On the Clay's portion, I say that my video is over with, but on a personal level, to let you guys know a little bit more about me, my father and my mother was married, and they divorced when she was 23 years old. He was in the Air Force, and so my mom had me and my sister, and she had to fly all the way back to Georgia and raise 2 children in the hood. And a lot of times I did not like my father growing up because he was absent. And the only thing I knew about my dad was that he cheated on my mom with another woman in the Air Force who was dating his friend. This is the only thing that was told to me about my father. So I grew up, and in growing up, everything that happened bad, my mom would date someone else who would physically abuse her, and me and my sister would see it. I blamed that everything on my dad, and the fact that we were so poor and broke in the hood, I fell in love with family sitcoms. I fell in love with watching shows like Family Matters, and I started designing my life like, okay, if I get a wife, I get married, and then I can have some children. I can have the white picket fence. I wanted the dream for me was the middle class, all American life, because I couldn't understand why my father would cheat on my mom and rob us from having that life and give us the hard life my sister and I had. And it had a very, very adverse effect on my life because I wanted that family dream that I was seeing being raised on sitcoms to escape the reality of the harsh conditions that I was living in. I rushed into a lot of relationships really, really fast without actually getting to know that person, which put me into bad situations. This directly came from trauma in my past from dealing with my father that I had not gotten over. And I would continue to fail in relationships if I did not look within and understand my own trauma and reach out and try to get help for my own trauma. There was no perfect woman in the world. I'm a luck up, or I thought like, okay, a lot of guys want to cheat and do all of this stuff. So if I be a good guy, I'll have an advantage. So it'll be easy for me to have a family. So I'm looking at Love is Blind, and I can see this fear that this man has of his trauma. But I want to remind Clay, my former self, and any other man out there or woman that has been that is dealing with something such as this, is that your past doesn't determine who you are. The harsh conditions that I grew up within, those are the conditions that make serial killers. Instead of making a serial killer out of me, it made me become a very nice person with an extreme amount of empathy for others to not want to see people in that position. So Clay, such as your father didn't do right by your mom, you can take that information and you can go head in and be the best man possible for AD. You can have children with AD or whichever woman you end up with, and you can finally be that father to show the next generation how to do it the right way. You are not a slave to your past. Your past does not hold you back. You hold yourself back with disbelief and not dealing with the issues that you have. So I wish you nothing but good luck, and everybody else in the future. Thank you for checking out the video, and I'll see you guys again soon, recapping the reunion of Love is Blind Season 6.